Well, welcome back to this week's Sabbath School Nugget. Today we're going to take a look at Sabbath's lesson, and then we'll move on to Sunday. The memory text for this week is a text we all know well. It's Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, this verse is important for two reasons. First, it identifies God as the creator, and secondly, it explains how we got here. Now, if you're taking notes, you see that word for God? It comes from the Hebrew word Elohim. This word for God is used some 32 times in Genesis 1 alone. Now, when the Bible repeats a word this many times, we need to pay attention because the author's trying to tell us something about that word. In this case, he's trying to tell us something about the nature of God. Okay, so what is he trying to tell us? Well, that word for God is plural. You could call it a singular plurality where several things come together for a single unit. For example, a husband and wife come together to make one flesh, or 20 people come together to form a single team. You get the idea. This is the word Moses uses to describe God. It's a perfect description of the Trinity where we have three individual persons coming together to form one God. That's Elohim. And again, Moses uses that word 32 times. I think he's trying to make sure we get the point about God. Now, Sunday's lesson draws our attention to two versions of the creation account, which we'll explore more in more detail later on. The first story of creation puts God way out there before, we existed, like he's apart from us. He's all-powerful and majestic. He's eternal and sovereign. He's up there, and we haven't even existed yet. But then the story shifts, and God becomes more personal. Here we see a God who loves his creation and desires to draw them into a loving and personal relationship with himself. Genesis provides us with the perfect reason as to why we worship God. First, we worship because he is our all-powerful creator. And as that famous hymn reminds us, that when we see the lofty mountain's grandeur, our soul can't help but cry out, "How great thou art!" But then we're reminded that we are here because of God's grace. Because he loved us even before he created us, was actually willing to die for us before we even took our first breath. And we sing, "Amazing love, how can it be that you would die for me?" This is why Revelation 14 invites us to worship him who created. Well, that's our Sabbath School Nugget for today. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow.